Diana and for scheduling things?
Sure,
Is there,
sure.
while we're all here, is there a reason that, does TJ need to be in attendance for any of this stuff?
TJ should be here, and whenever I tell you the whole long-term plan for the next 2 years especially, I need him. Cause we're gonna we should save a bunch of money on doing all these drains, and I need him to help me engineer. Cause next year I wanna do the Dolphy plan, I wanna do the whole Dolphy plan. And then the following year, do the Roberts plan. Then we can start paving some roads. Just to give you an idea of the roads that we can pave this year, Hobbit Lane and Aragon, except for that one box, they're ready to be paved. Ivy Hill's ready to be paved. All the boxes are in excellent shape. Logs Run, all the boxes are in excellent shape. Aber Road, all the boxes are in excellent shape. So we have roads that we can pave next year because the drainage is done this year.
To say how important these boxes are and how bad they've become over the years, we had a call on, Veterans Day.
Monday.
And that there was road crew workers out working with no flagger on McCain Road. So I told, Tammy that, there's nobody working today, it's Veterans Day. Ultimately, it ended up being a resident putting in their own box. A contractor resident who was desperate, who was actually on Veterans Day putting a drainage box.
She got flooded 5 times in 2 years, and she said she's not getting flooded this year.
So ultimately, it wasn't our road crew doing it, it was a resident that went out and bought a box culvert themselves. So, then Ken.
Doesn't say much for us.
No, but he's getting them as quick as he can, it's been many years,
Yeah, that's not a
we
criticism.
put in more, yeah.
Well, she said she's been calling here for 20 years to get this box in.
Same thing with the guys on Airport Road, right?
Right,
Yeah.
So,
right.
you know, you gotta do maintenance every year. Kenny. You and I've talked about it ad nauseum. It's just, you've gotta do these things.
You're right. I mean, there has been no real maintenance done for a long time.
Albert was really sad to retire, he liked doing the boxes.
Oh,
The only question I have, Kenny, do we still, previous board had that MS4 thing, and I keep thinking, ask TJ, are we still required to put those sediment bags in these locations?
That's part of your approved MS4 pollution reduction plan.
Does that mean we have to keep doing it?
I mean, best practice would be to carry that forward until DEP has approved the plan amendment, which we submitted in March.
Okay.
So, in theory, we should have them in still, yes.
Okay.
Well, still in the ones that they were in, or is the question whether or not we should be installing them in every box we put in?
I would put them in the ones that were identified in the plan.
Okay, so the ones that we've been, because I was confused there for a second whether or not he should be putting them in boxes as he installed.
I got something to say on that.
There were 9 that were identified in the original plan. In theory, we should preserve those until the new plan
So
is
we'll
approved.
put it on the conversation list when we meet.
I understand there's a lot of problems with some of those locations, so.
Here's the deal, 6 of those 9 bags are ripped. You go to pick them up, they rip in half. They're so full.
They fill up quick.
Right,
They
so
weren't too much money though. If I recall, they weren't incredibly expensive.
if we clean those boxes often enough and save it in our bins up there, would that be suffice?
Yeah, I mean, we should be keeping track of it, whether
We are.
filter it or.
Well,
whether
I'm
we- yeah.
storing it, I'm only gonna weigh it whenever we gotta weigh it the next time.
Yeah, at the end of the year, yeah.
I mean, in the first time we weighed it, it was tons.
Yeah.
It was not pounds.
Thousands of pounds.
Yeah, seen the fall.
There's so much that when we go to clean out a box, we take a backhoe to put it in the bucket to get it in the truck.
We put that on the list when we, with Kenny and who,
We
yourself,
should talk about that,
and the
yeah.
board.
Okay.
Does any other board member have a question?
All right.
You guys have a question?
When do we wanna meet?
Well, Diana's gonna reach out to all of us this week, I guess. She's gonna line up a date that's good for all of us. It's too hard to, figure it out right now. alright?
I got a question on the meeting.
I'm sorry, you had your public comment, we got a really long agenda this evening.
So,
Are the officers here? We're circling back to the officers report.